simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla. Nothing too wild, just delicious. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia. The clock is ticking. The time is now to find those last-second winners. This is Countdown to Payout, powered by Mall Chevy.
Yeah. Week 18 is here. Are you ready to go? Ladies and gentlemen, football fanatics and the gamblers all across the world on the gridiron. Welcome to the grand finale of the NFL regular season. As Joe Tanzi says, don't cry because it's gone. Just be happy for what we had. 17 weeks, all right here on Countdown to Payout. I believe that's what the saying is.
I think you got the essence of it, but I don't know if you got it 100% right.
Correct. Yeah, I was trying to pull that one out of the back of my head. Anyways, it is Tanzi's.
Off to a great start.
It is Tanzi's go-to. This is Countdown to Payout presented by Mall Chevy, South Jersey's #1 volume dealership. Check them out online, mallchevy.com. Mall Chevrolet over there in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Hit up my guy, Dante Venicola. He is the general sales manager. If you need a new vehicle, buy, you want to sell your ride, lease, just start with Mall Chevy. Brand new Blazer. Check them out. All right, we got a lot to get to. Of course, yesterday, the 2 games that we watched. If you made money on it, nice work by you. I took a bath, literally. During,
you took a bath?
Yeah, I took a bath during the Ravens and Steelers games.
Do you often take a bath? I didn't know you were a bath.
I kid.
Oh, okay.
I placed like 3.
Baths are great.
What did I tell you on Friday? If I wager this weekend, slap me. First game. 3 same-game parlays, first touchdown score.
No. Don't tell me you did that. Don't tell. Come on,
just
man.
Just a disaster.
Come on. I thought you were better than that.
No, no, because I'm sitting on the couch and I got nothing else to do.
I know. That's why I mistakenly put in a Colts bet last night. That was dumb.
Yes.
That was dumb. No need to do that.
Well,
no need to do that.
I think from that standpoint, that game was different.
Oh, I get it, but still no need to do that. And in week 18,
yeah,
it's going to be too hard. And that's the thing about most of these games. The 2 games I probably like the most are games that are meaningless. They have no meaning to them.
Well,
and those are the games I like.
That's what we call money in the dumpster from Mark Henry Jr.
This is week 18 is a money in the dumpster week. That's what it is.
And the big thing for me is this, and it comes to, people are probably listening going, oh, well, you guys say don't wager this weekend. What the hell am I listening to? No, those are the 2 games. And that's my thought process all week was exactly that too. It's just like, don't force it. And when you're throwing me a card of 2 games versus what we have today, it's just a hell of a lot more difficult. And oh, by the way, the weather was just absurd. So yesterday was not a good day at the office for me. I sat back and enjoyed the Indianapolis Colts game. I did have a first touchdown play, but that was it. I took Mo Alley Cox, and who did I have? I had Pierce 20-1.
That didn't work.
No, because it went the other way. And CJ Stroud, with that one toss, put the game to the side. He is now your offensive rookie of the year winner. And I'll tell you what, if you have Puka, I feel for you. Because Puka, I believe, needs 40 some odd yards, I think, to break.
Can he get it from Carson?
He's going to get it.
You think so?
They're going to
force feed. Yeah, they're going to force feed.
And they're going to force feed him early. And then they'll get him the hell out of Dodge. And could you imagine placing a wager on Puka Nacua to win the offensive rookie of the year? He sets the record for wide receivers and yardage in a year, and he's not going to win that award. That's why they call it gambling. All right, we got a lot to do. John Jansen, Sean Brace with you here. Of course, Roy Burton going to join us in his normal spot at 11 o'clock. Talk all things DFS. Set you up. Final week. I know that a lot of us are in those contests, those season-long contests, whether it's a weekly group or with your friends or just competing across the country in the national landscape. But this is the final week, and you got to find a way to place in the money. So Roy's going to give you the best DFS advice around for all things week 18. We'll try and find some of those winning wagers. We'll hit on all the big games, especially the ones that mean something. And, of course, focus on the money in the dumpster segment, a la Mark Henry Jr. Now, let's open up with the Philadelphia Eagles, though, because they are locked in at 5-point favorites here on the road at MetLife. Game going off at 4:28 p.m. Look, you don't want to watch the game. Come on down to the Wells Fargo Center. We got ourselves a wing
there
game.
You go.
Wings game coming up at 3 o'clock. I will be on the microphone down there. Now, from the standpoint of this game, and there's a gentleman out there. Look, there's so many people in the world of course, just fans, the rah-rah. Then you get some people that just kind of avoid all that and just stay in their own lane, just carve their own path. I just feel like we should all be in agreement when it comes to today's game, because there is a 2 seed at stake. And even if it's a 5% chance, 10% chance, 15% chance, I saw somewhere around 12 to 15% chance that the Cowboys do lose to the Commanders on the road, you still have to go into this game today believing that the 2 seed is available, which it is. The division is available, which it is. And you have to play with that mentality. So therefore, play your starters. I will tell you straight up that if Nick Sirianni sat the starters, Jalen Hurts.
Like if we see Marcus Mariota today,
Jalen Hurts,
would you be upset?
Lane Johnson. No. So there's 2 ways. There's 2. And it's only how the result of the Commanders game. I promise you, if Dallas loses and the Eagles lose to the Giants because they did not play their starters, I fire Sirianni in the spot. On the spot. He doesn't even get a bus ride home. He gets fired on the spot. Now, I would assume that they had conversations behind the scenes. Everybody's on the same page, from Howie to Jeffrey to, of course, whatever offensive coordinators in there. You got defense coordinators out the wazoo, whatever. I'm sure everybody's in the same page right now. You have to go into this game with the mentality that it matters and scoreboard watch. As I said earlier this week, John Jansen, give Dom something to do. All I know is they are 5-point favorites. Go up there and win this game against the Giants if it means something. That's how you have to approach it in the first half. And you got to have a cutoff. If it's at halftime and the Cowboys say, okay, well, if they're up by 17 at halftime, we're pulling our starters. You want to make the cutoff 10 points? I'm fine with that, Nick. Have a plan. Is there anything you disagree with that just came out of my mouth, John Jansen?
I don't think so. It seems like such a far-fetched idea. I wouldn't blame them if they don't want to play some starters because it's raining. It's MetLife Stadium. We know MetLife Stadium has a history of player injuries, especially devastating injuries. So if they want to be safe, I don't hate it. It would be nice to look. The 2 seed would be great. I think it's really short-sighted. I think some of the mindset for the 2 seed
would be great. 2 seed would be unbelievable.
But I think some people are short-sighted because you would have to play most likely like Green Bay or the Rams if you get that 2 seed. And everybody's like, well, you don't want to play those guys.
Where would you play them at?
You play them at the Link.
That's right.
But that's what I mean, in that if you have the 2 seed, you at least get 2 home games.
Yeah.
And that to me is more important, and potentially a third one if San Francisco loses. Well, that to me is like very, very important. So if you're just looking at first round matchup, I think that's very short.
I think there's also another way. Another thing you got to throw in here. Another log on the fire. Log on the boule fire here. The fact that you won't play the 49ers to the third round, which is the NFC Championship game, regardless if it's home or away. If you're not the 2 seed, you have to go out to San Francisco in that second round. So it's easy for me. It's easy. Win this damn first half if the game is at stake down there in DC, which, dude,
by the way, it's not a guarantee that they win even if they play their starters.
Who, the Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
We got to look at every game as if they can lose to anyone.
Understood, but this was a team that they did beat 33-25 on Christmas Day, and they gave them 14 points.
They did, but also New York wasn't playing an NFL quarterback. They were playing Tommy DeVito.
That's fair.
I mean, this is different. I mean, Tyrod Taylor's better. And so they better watch out because it's not just easy to walk into MetLife. It isn't that easy to go, oh, you play your starters, you're going to win the game and, just go ahead and do that. It's not. I mean, they better come in with the mindset of, actually trying to win this game if they really want that 2 seed and not treat this just like, a week 18 get right game kind of thing. They better treat it as if they really got to go in there and beat a good team because the Giants aren't too bad with Tyrod Taylor and the Eagles are just a bad team at this point.
All right. Get you involved in the conversation out there. We're streaming on all of our platforms, of course, on socials, FOXPHL Gambler. We got our socials ready to go. Your winning plays, your props that you like, any contract incentives that you're eyeing up. Jadeveon Clowney cashed in. How'd you like that? 1 sack, you get that payday. What was it?
$750,000, I think.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say
huge number.
1 sack, boom, he's in there. Yeah. And we talked about this during the week where you know how it is with the gambling community. It's like everyone thinks they're better than everyone. I'm better than everyone. I love the contract incentives. I love them, and I appreciate all the content providers that did their due diligence and put out the right numbers for us to have something to look at, to have an angle. I will tell you this much: I'm a little disappointed. I'm DraftKings through and through. I'd fired up. I was looking for some props yesterday, and they didn't put them up yesterday for that Ravens game. What was the running back for the Ravens? Justice, right?
Yeah.
His props weren't listed. I wanted to get on him. Look, come on, man. Sportsbooks, let's go here. You know, like
week 18's tough for the books.
I don't care.
Week 18's tough.
Care.
Come on.
It's tough for the gamblers for 17 straight weeks.
Look, I'm not.
You can't throw us a bone.
I don't like to stand up for the books. All right.
Sounds like you are standing
I want
up
to take
for the
money
man.
from the books. I'm just saying this is just how business goes, Bryce.
Well,
that's just the cost of business.
Well, you know what?
They don't want to lose money. So guess what? They're not going to put numbers on players that they're going to lose money on.
I am DraftKings through and through. Johnny Avell, can't you throw us a bone? Can't you throw us one bone out there? Give me an easy play, please. All right, we'll see if we can find some of those today.
By the way, there are no props I think I'm even seeing for this Rams game.
Yeah, because there's so many question marks at this point in time. Right. And
because obviously the one you would think of is Puka Nacua.
Correct. So, and that's a 4:00 game. We got 6 in the 1 o'clock, 7 in the 4 o'clock. This is speaking of Joe Tanzi. This is his delight here. I'm sure he's excited to have that split there. 1 8 o'clock game, which means a ton. The Bills and the Dolphins, of course, with a little bit more emphasis on that game. Because of what took place last night in Baltimore. But we opened up with the Eagles and the Giants. Last thoughts on that from the standpoint of anything from the prop, anything from side, anything from total for you, John Jansen?
I got nothing in this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game.
All right.
I mean, truly, I don't know who's going to play. I don't know how, even if they play, I don't know how long they're going to play. I think this one might be the hardest game to bet just because we have no idea how the Eagles could play this. You know, this could be a situation like Doug Peterson, those a few years ago where I think he played the starters for like a drive and then took them out. I think we could see something like that, but I have no clue how the Eagles are going to play this game. And not just start, so it doesn't even matter the inactives and actives in this game. What do they do at halftime? Like you just said, if they are scoreboard watching, are they going to be done at the half? This game to me is this is the worst one to bet of the entire day.
Maybe you look at the unders. Maybe you look at the unders.
You could do that.
Knowing that they're going to get the players out.
You could do that. Absolutely. And try to play it that way.
The Eagles have not won a road game since November the 20th, back when they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, it was a much different season back in those
ages
days.
Ago.
Yes, it was. Powers checking in. Powers says the Eagles minus 12.5 at plus 230 spread alternate on DK.
Oh, whoa.
Good luck on that one, Mike.
I don't know about that.
All right. Living for the city.
Marcus Mariota going to light up that Giants defense?
We'll see. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about the games that actually do matter. I want to open up with the Bears and the Packers here. That's a 428 kick. Go Pack Go. 3-point favorites. 46 is your total. Of course, they have a lot to play for up there in Green Bay. I'll give you the latest as far as playoff details when it comes to the Green Bay Packers, is according to the New York Times, just put out 30 minutes ago. The Packers have many paths to the playoffs. Their only hope is a wild card berth. They face, of course, the Bears. As we said, if they win, the Packers are in the playoffs. They will be a number 6 seed if the 49ers beat the Rams. Otherwise, they'll be a number 7 seed. Things are a little bit more complicated if they lose. So let's just focus on the win here. John Jansen, do they win this game? And of course, the spread being 3. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's so tough because the Bears have been playing great football. And, you know, a lot of the tension is, and rightly should be, on Justin Fields and the way that he's playing. Really, it's defense, though. They haven't gone up against the best offenses: Atlanta, Arizona, Cleveland, Detroit, Minnesota. But still, they're holding teams to 20 points or less in their last 5 games. That's really impressive. And Eberflus gets a lot of credit for that, and I think he should. And it might actually save his job the way they're playing defense. So that's really the tough matchup for me, is how does that defense look against one of the best passing offenses it looks like in the NFL with Jordan Love and that Packers offense. Love has been a top 10 quarterback this year. This has been a top 10 passing offense. Matt LaFleur has done a great job in getting guys like Reed and Watson, plenty of creative plays and involved in the passing game. So this is a really good passing offense. I'm just not sure how they play against this great Chicago defense, it looks like. I mean, they've been great for a few weeks now. This isn't just 1 or 2 weeks. This is a long time, 5 weeks to be the holding teams to 20 points or less. That's impressive. So to me, the lean actually goes to Chicago getting the 3. I like their defense. I like the way Justin Fields is playing, obviously, as well. And we know Joe Barry and the Packers play very soft for some reason. They do not go up on the line of scrimmage. They wide open zones. It's crazy the way they play defense. And I don't know how Joe Barry still has a job, but Justin Fields to me can take advantage of that, find some holes in that Packers defense. And I think we actually see maybe a Chicago win on the way out, and Justin Fields trying to keep his job in Chicago, and Matt Eberflus as well.
Justin Fields, as far as the props are concerned on DraftKings Sportsbook, there's definitely some value there. I'm looking at total touchdowns for passing touchdowns, for Fields over 1.5 plus 185. If you think Fields is looking at this game like, get on my back, I'm going to show you. Maybe
you think it's going to be through the air?
Could be both.
Okay.
Well, I just feel like the numbers are there for the taking. Plus 185 at over 1.5 is a nice number. And of course, 200.5 for his passing yards are concerned, as far as player prop passing yards on DraftKings there. 250 for Jordan Love, 200 for Fields, as I just said. You want the rushing props? I'll give that to you as well. Jordan Love, 8.5. Justin Fields, 56.5. You got to love the 56.5, of course, if he's going to do it. You know what Justin Fields brings to the table, but I wouldn't mind being all in. If I'm backing the Bears here, I'm all in on Justin.
Then you're
Fields.
all in on Fields.
You have to be. So that could be a three-headed monster on how you want to play that. And of course, if he's going to do it in the air, it's DJ Moore, 67.5 there. Big one from the rushing standpoint, it's Aaron Jones, 67.5 for the Packers. I guess, what are we thinking about as far as the total number here with this game? Are we thinking that we're going to see a high-scoring game? Our defense is going to show up, as you said, with the Chicago Bears have been playing a lot better. Game on the road in Green Bay, 46 is your total in this one. And look, when you doubt the Packers, when you doubt Jordan Love, that's when he goes out there and throws for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, guy's been really good this season. So that's why it's kind of tough. The total is a little bit tough for me because we could see some big plays. Jordan Love is really good, good deep ball passer. So the passing game could get some big plays on the Chicago defense and very easily get over 20 points, like Chicago's defense hasn't given up in the last few weeks. But we can also see big plays from Chicago as well. There is too much big playability, and these defenses can give up some big plays that that number seems a little volatile to me. I'm not too sure what the total, but I think we could see some scoring, and if it is going to happen, you're right with the Bears. I do think Justin Fields has a good game. I like the over 200.5 passing yards. He's gone over that at least twice in the last 4 games, so this is a 50% shot of happening, and you can get it at -115, so it's not like you're buying a lot of juice. But in a game like this, where you're probably going to have to air out the ball, it's a really good division matchup, and heck, a showcase for Justin Fields. I think the 200.5 is a good number for him.
All right. Anything else from this game standing out to you? Because this is a big one. This is definitely one that we should all be watching in the 4:00 window.
No, not too much else outside of that, because the Bears are very Fields dependent. DJ Moore is another one, because DJ Moore's having an awesome year.
67.
Have you seen his numbers?
Oh, yeah.
His numbers are amazing. 1,300 yards this season. We know he's had huge games where he's gotten over 200 yards and he's gotten a few touchdown catches. So DJ Moore is certainly the guy you're probably going to have to look at most. And the other one, Cole Kmet, also gets involved a lot. But with the Green Bay side, I'm not too sure. Their offense seems like they spread the wealth. Reed is the big play guy, so maybe if you want to take longest reception with him. But I'm not too sure where to go with the Packers pass catchers. But to me, the Bears, it's very simple. It's either DJ Moore or Cole Kmet mostly.
Bo Melton, 6 grabs for 105 and a touchdown last week versus the Minnesota Vikings. Pretty big day there. Jaden Reed, I want to say that Jaden Reed was the number 1. Julius Gallant, I want to say his name is, from the Action Network. He put out a great post during the week that gave you the leaders throughout the course of the season as far as first touchdown and anytime touchdown. The leader in the anytime touchdown as far as units are concerned, the fullback, I forget his name, for the Texans. He scored yesterday.
The fullback for the Texans.
Yeah, leader in the units. Units
That's
this
incredible.
year. Anytime touch. You don't even know his name.
No, I don't. The Houston Texans fullback.
Did you not watch the game
I
last
watched
night?
the game, yeah. It was the guy who caught it in the back of the end zone.
That's
but
right.
I still have no idea what his name is.
Getting paid to do this. We don't know the
I
name.
have no idea what this guy's name is.
I'll tell you right now what it is.
That's you know what? Maybe we're just, as a society, we are too disrespectful for the fullbacks.
Beck.
We need to be better.
Andrew Beck.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Yeah.
So units this season, he leads the way as far as anytime touchdown is concerned. Reed, I believe, has the most first touchdowns out of anybody. I think it's at 6. Again, Gillies Gallant over at Action Network. Great follow, and he's got all that for you there. So Jaden Reed, 46.5. Man, if you think the Go Pack Go is the play here, you got to look at Jaden Reed. I know that they want to stick with it on the ground. It's going to be really tough against that Bears defense. But Jaden Reed is a guy that I'd definitely be eyeing up as well.
Yeah, Jaden Reed certainly. One of the pass catchers that are getting
yards last week.
Yeah, he's getting a lot more involved. It's one of the best things the Packers have done. You know, they've found ways to get some of these young guys involved and getting better over time. It's a really good coaching job by LaFleur, and Reed is a great example of all of that. And I think he is going to be involved heavily in this game.
All right, now let's keep it moving here as far as the games that actually matter. Let's get on over to the 1 o'clock window and check out some of these games here. And for the most part, not too much drama, but let's talk about the Jags and the Titans here and the expectations for your boy, Trevor Lawrence, with a sprained AC joint in his shoulder.
Sprained AC joint, sprained ankle, sprained knee.
He's
concussion.
Like he's like Joel Embiid out there. That's what he is.
He really is. Playing behind one of the worst offensive lines in football, and he's certainly bearing the brunt of that. For sure.
They're 4-point favorites, and Vrabel is definitely singing the line from revenge factor from what happened last year, keeping them out of the playoffs.
Oh, that's great. They're cooked. Tennessee's cooked. I
agree, but
it's getting worse. And I think they're starting Tannehill. I think Will Levis is out.
Jeez. That doesn't provide them any more of a positive in your mind. Things have been going bad. You get Tannehill in there to control it a little bit more, make hopefully less mistakes. You got Derrick Henry, and his final game could be possibly his final game in a Titans uniform here this afternoon. If I'm playing this game, I got to take the points. Have to.
The only reason I would caution that, and I think you would have been right, but Christian Kirk out of nowhere
is healthy.
Got activated and healthy.
Yeah, he's got
Zay Jones out of nowhere is back. Trevor Lawrence is likely going to play. Mm-hmm. I think. Look, if he has a chance to play, he's likely going to play. Yeah. So they are getting healthy. That was the biggest thing. Their biggest problem. They had nobody. Trevor Lawrence was hurt, but two of their starting wide receivers were hurt. That offense was really bad for a few weeks, but I think most of it just comes down to injuries. Now they are healthy, going up against a team that Trevor Lawrence does well against in his career so far, has done great. His best game maybe this year was against Tennessee at 4 touchdowns, 2 throwing and 2 rushing. So I think with Jacksonville, I would caution that they are healthy now. So anything you saw previously, like against Tampa and Baltimore, I'm not sure how much that applies in this game, just because they have guys back that are game changers for their offense, and they need all of it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, again, from where I stand, I'm going to bet against the quarterback that can't throw a football effectively. Again, that's a guess because of, we've seen players play with this injury before, but I just assume he's going to be dealing with it somewhat, right? Like, it's going to bother him. He's not going to be 100%. It's not Trevor Lawrence, in week 3 out there. So I'll take a flyer, take the 4 points at home, and hopefully Vrabel and that Tennessee Titans team can get that revenge factor going. I'm buying what he's selling. Again, there's a lot to play for moving forward with that organization, players, all that and more. They have not been playing good down the stretch. That's easy to see, easy to say. But here, week 18, you want to give me 4 points, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, and Jacksonville, to me, though, is one of those teams that watch out if they are healthy. That's their biggest thing all season. They just have not been healthy. And now it seems like they might be getting healthy at just the right time before the playoffs. I think Jacksonville is one of those teams that I don't know if you should necessarily give up on. It all depends on defense. Can they get any performance defensively out of their secondary? But the good thing for them is they have 2 good edge rushers. Trayvon Walker, one of those, number 1 overall pick from a couple years ago. And also Josh Allen, who, by the way, he could have a chance to lead the league in sacks, and I actually like him to get a sack in this game. I think he's going to have a big impact, and Josh Allen's certainly going to be going for it. He already leads. He broke the record for Jacksonville, franchise record in sacks already last week, and I think he's going to end up leading the NFL in sacks after this week. So I think he has a big game.
All right, keeping it moving here. It's Countdown to Payout presented by Mall, Chevy, Sean Brace, John Jansen with you. We got Roy Burton join the program at 11 o'clock, talk all things DFS. Other side, we'll continue down the DraftKings board here on an NFL Sunday, our final one in the regular season 2023-24. That hurts. Other side, we'll go ahead and hit on the notable line movement, and this has been a crazy week. I got 4 games that we're going to focus on. We have not touched on any of these 4. We'll give you the significant line movement and what direction it's at right now and whether or not we should take that bait. Don't go anywhere. It's countdown to payout. We got you till noon. Back after this.
For 8 years in a row now, Mall Chevrolet has been South Jersey's #1 Chevy dealer. It could be because we treat our customers right. That's why Mall Chevy was voted a top 100 dealer in the country for customer satisfaction. But we still think it's because of our motto, we sell Chevys for less. Come see for yourself. Visit Mall Chevrolet on Haddonfield Road in Cherry Hill, across from the Cherry Hill Mall, or online at mallchevy.com. Find new roads at Mall Chevrolet. Mallchevy.com.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in 1 wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
This Fox Sports Report is brought to you by Ashley Home Stores. The Philadelphia Eagles wrap up the regular season on Sunday versus the New York Giants. Currently, the Eagles are 5-point road favorites. These 2 teams just played on Christmas Day when the Birds beat the Giants by a score of 33-25. Don't forget, if you purchase your Ashley furniture now through January 12th, your purchase will be free if the Birds win the big game and the quarterback passes for 350 yards or more. Details over at ashleyhomestore.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
I'm Sarah Kustak, NBA analyst for the Brooklyn Nets, and my podcast, NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak, is back.
The Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Every Monday and Friday, I'll be joined by a top NBA writer to discuss the biggest stories in the league. And we'll do it in about 15 minutes, so you can stay up to date and keep it moving. Check out NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's the game.
Hey now, countdown to payout, presented by Mall Chevy. Check them out online. You need a new vehicle, whether you're buying, selling, leasing. Trust me, check them out online, mallchevy.com. Start your car search there. Hit up my guy Dante and his team, Craig, all the great guys and gals over there at Mall Chevy. Beautiful showroom, do a ton in the community. I'm telling you right now, start there if you're in the market for a new vehicle. I am. Yep. I'll be leasing, and man.
Oh, you're in the market for a car.
3 years. It goes like that. I'm a leaser.
Yeah, that's what my parents do. They lease.
Yeah. If you don't drive,
I don't feel comfortable leasing.
Why?
I don't know. I just would rather,
own
get the car. Yeah. Because I drive a lot.
Well, that's the thing.
That's I drive way too much.
If you're going to go over $15,000 or 15,000 miles, I forget what it is.
Like, it works for my parents. They don't do anything now. Exactly. They're just old people that watch Blue Bloods all the time. That's it.
All I do is drive from City Ave to Conchi to City Ave.
You don't drive anywhere either.
That's it.
I'm driving all the way from Media. I go visit my parents in Jersey.
Parks.
Parks. Yeah. I drive way too, you got me working way too much for me to be leasing.
All right. Let's go ahead. It's a good call. All right, let's go ahead and fire DraftKings up. Get everybody involved in the conversation. Countdown to Payout, as I said, presented by Mall Chevy. We got Roy Burton joining us coming up at 11. I'll get one of them right. I got to get my time right here.
Let's get him on at noon.
DFS, fantasy, you name it. He's going to cover it all there, and we're going to hit some of these games.
Yeah, I remember my second play. I remembered it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's in the San Francisco Rams game.
All right, we'll come to that second. I want to open up, though, here with the Jets and the Patriots. With
Yeah.
that low total of 29. A nor'easter happening up there in New England. Definite snow, 100%. Now, here's the thing. The wind. It's only 14 miles per hour. You want to bring down that total a little bit more? I'm fine with it. I think I'm going to take the over on this one.
What is the weather? Is it actually going to be precipitation? Like, is there?
It says 100% definite snow. It's going to snow. But my thing is this: Jets run the football well. Nobody's playing particularly good defense on either side. The Jets definitely are looking forward to the offseason, just based off of what we saw.
The Jets are in the offseason
on Thursday night. Yeah, the defense held up until that point. I think the defense is done. I think both teams are done. You might see a little bit more of a pride factor for Belichick because it could be his final game of the regular season, just to update everybody on that, because I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that want to give their opinions. I went to the heart of it all up there in Boston. Julian Edlow joined me this week and said 50-50. He could see it happening both ways. He could see Kraft getting cold feet. He can also see Belichick being gone, but he doesn't think it's done just yet.
Oh, Kraft could get cold feet.
Correct.
He?
He doesn't want to be the bad guy. And removing Bill Belichick like that, that's not a good look.
I mean, they have to. But again,
no, they don't.
Oh, they have to. Sean is bad.
General manager, remove general manager from his job. Do him right. He won 6.
I mean, even past
they're
that,
telling me Mike Tomlin they're saying Mike Tomlin will never get fired. Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
but you're going to fire Bill Belichick?
Mike Tomlin hasn't lost the game hasn't passed him by at all. I actually think he's getting better. I think he's getting and he used to be very conservative. I think he's actually more aggressive now. I think he understands fourth down. Look, he still punts a little bit too much. I get it.
He drafted Kenny Pickett.
Mike Tomlin gets it.
He drafted Kenny Pickett.
Bill Belichick is still coaching in 2000. He's still coaching in 2000, 2001.
Understood.
And that he cannot. They haven't had a modern passing offense in years.
If you're going to tell me Mike Tomlin is never getting fired, he names his date, then Bill Belichick should absolutely have the same way of looking at that situation.
But no, the thing that's different with Mike Tomlin, though, is he's winning. You can still see him winning. He
doesn't win in the playoffs.
You still know in the future that he's going to win. He is getting the most out of bad rosters.
Win what? Regular season games?
Getting into the playoffs almost every single year and getting an above 500 record with talent that is not very good.
You know what?
If he's the one that's making these decisions to bring in Kenny Pickett, then fire him. But he's not the one bringing in Kenny Pickett. That is the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers that is at the top. They make those decisions.
Yeah, and Mike Tomlin doesn't have anything to say about that.
I'm sure he has some, but I don't think he has Bill Belichick's say. Bill Belichick has all say and again, if you're going to tell him that he's not going to be GM, he's not going to want that.
Well,
so he wants it all.
And that's fine. And that's what I would say to him. I'd say, Bill, I don't want to fire you.
But even at this point, he's just a bad coach now, though.
No, there's no arguments there. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. And when you said it, I just laughed at that and I smirked because I said it was cute. Tomlin has had regular season success. Bill Belichick's like, yeah, that's cute.
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah, I see him like a cartoon, like that fat cat with the toothpick, and he's sitting there like, yeah, that's cute. That regular season success, 6 Super Bowls, but. Whatever. If people want to say Tomlin deserves to be the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers for the next 2 decades, knock yourself out. I'm a Tomlin guy, but the success.
Yeah, look at you coming to Tomlin.
He's had 2 playoff wins since the Super Bowl.
I haven't been that much of a Tomlin guy, but I've been more impressed with him this year and the way that he's coached. I think he is changing a bit. I think he is adapting to modern times. Bill Belichick is not. He's getting worse.
That was 2009.
Brady knew how bad it was. Brady left.
Totally understand.
Because he knew how bad it was getting.
I get it. All right. Well, how about from the game standpoint of wagering on this game? Are you buying into the putting a win one for the Gipper here. Let's win one for Bill Belichick on the way out. They're 2.5-point favorites against the Jets. 29 is your total here. Are you back in Bailey Zappi? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, this is a play that I probably shouldn't do, but Bill Belichick has amazing success against the New York Jets. They are at home. They are playing better football. And I know that sounds weird because they've only won 2 of their last 5 games, but still playing better. Close game against the Chargers, a win against Pittsburgh, close game against Kansas City, a win against Denver, and a close game against Buffalo. They are actually competitive now. They weren't competitive previously. They are competitive in these games, and I think they are going to be not just more motivated, but I think they are playing better, and they are certainly trying to get better. And it's maybe doing it for Bill, and Bill is doing a fine job coaching these last few weeks. This could be his last hurrah, and he's going to do it in New England and get a win against the Jets. I think it lines up perfectly, for me at least, to see Bill Belichick going out on top against the Jets one more time in New England before they potentially can him. But I do like the Patriots. I think they are playing better football at this point.
I'm not seeing any defense being played up there unless it's snowing sideways. Then maybe.
Yeah, but who's going to play offense? I mean, you're right in that Breece Hall is probably going to get some run here.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, look, you can go down the list of all the guys that are going to get action as far as rushing the football is concerned. And still no props up just yet on DraftKings for that game. Come on, release them, Johnny. Release them. I kid. Probably get in trouble.
Yeah,
for this.
Look at you. Jeez.
No. It's all in love. It's all in good fun.
Is it?
We understand, as you pointed out, look, the odds makers are not going to give us a free line out there, but you know, it would be fun to just get one out there and say, hey, can we fire, please? But they have to be careful. Understood. We get that. But
yeah, and this is Zach Wilson's out. Who's starting a Is it still Trevor Siemian? What is happening? Who's starting for the New York Jets?
Well, that's probably a good question. Again, I didn't think much of the quarterbacks.
Is it worth finding out the answer, though?
Probably.
That's the thing with the Jets. All you got to know is it's a backup quarterback against Bill Belichick.
Which you had breaking news in the break there. What was it?
Oh my! Ian Rappaport putting out a report of the New York Jets are going to look to trade Zach Wilson this offseason. Who the bleep? Who the bleep is going to trade for Zach Wilson? Who?
Yeah, I made the case that if I'm a team out there that, you know, if I can get Zach Wilson for a 7th round pick, why not?
A 7th round pick is worth more than Zach Wilson.
Possibly, but you came back at me and said, hey, look, they're probably not just going to have to cut him. And I understand that. That's when you just wait on.
I mean, Zach Wilson should probably be calling some like UFL teams up. Hey, what are you guys doing? You guys need a quarterback? I'm available. CFL. That'd be perfect for Wilson. He probably should not be playing in the NFL. He's bad. He's horrible.
Yes, he is.
He's terrible.
Yes, he is.
And every team knows that.
Understood.
There is not a like, oh, we can fix parts of his game and we can fix this here. We can make him better. Or there's still any kind of potential left. That's all gone. Every single team knows that Zach Wilson is just not a viable option, even as a backup quarterback, even as a practice squad quarterback. I don't know if he's a viable option.
All right. Anything else from that game catching your attention? It's not wasting much time.
Other than me, just I'm backing Bill Belichick one last time. I think in this game.
All right, next game up. Let's go to 4:30. Let's talk about the Rams and the Niners for some odd reason. Jansen wants to talk about this, and you know, what I would say is this: there are people out there that decided to bring up some new names in the defensive rookie of the year contenders. While my guy Jalen Carter, who I own a plus 750 ticket for a long time now, preseason, which I thought was a slam dunk. And then all of a sudden I see people, and I think it's important, right? Like if you are the owner of some of these tickets, don't sell yourself short. Like my little Twitter account or social media account, no one pays attention. No, I get it. These NFL awards, there's only 50 people that vote them. I believe 50, and it's really tight. Pete Prisco is one of those fat mouths. There are big mouths out there. And I didn't mean to say fat mouths. Sorry, that was a slip. Big mouth. And he was like, "Oh, I'm not voting for Jalen Carter."
Oh my God, the awards got you getting aggressive.
It's either Will Anderson or Kobe Turner, and this is why. You know. So Will Anderson, I said, okay, he plays. There's a game. Like I don't know what Kobe Turner is going to play today, right? That game means nothing. 49ers and Rams means absolutely nothing, correct? seeding for the Rams.
Right, it doesn't, but
they're starting Carson Wentz, so that tells you their approach.
But I think that what people do have to understand about that, the roster isn't big enough that they just can't play all their starters.
Understood.
So Kobe Turner is likely going to play.
He's going to play, absolutely. He will.
Maybe, a lesser role, not as many snaps as he would previously. But yeah, it's.
Well, I think from the 49ers perspective, don't you expect to see them running the football a ton, not so much passing? So who knows?
They could, because Sam Darnold, I'm sure they would love to see what Sam, try and figure out some things with him just in case something does happen. Brock Purdy has gotten stingers in 2 straight games, stinger. So I think for them, this is a little bit of, hey, let's see what Sam Darnold can do. That's why I love it. And what we saw with Sam Darnold coming in the last game, I think it was against Baltimore. I thought the offense didn't really change. Like, we're going to see Carson Wentz, by the way, today. That offense is going to completely change. They cannot do the same things that they do with Matt Stafford and do it with Carson Wentz. The offense is going to have to change to try and play to Carson Wentz's strengths, which I don't know if there are any at this point, but it's going to be a simplified offense, probably a lot of play action, simple bootlegs just to get him out rolling, and probably to the tight end, out short. It's not going to be a lot of deep balls. I don't think there's going to be really any mid-level throws from Carson because he can't read any defenses. It's going to be very simple. But for San Francisco, they can open up the playbook does not change one iota with Sam Darnold there. He runs the same offense Brock Purdy does. Now, the thing is, Brock Purdy, of course, does it better, but I think there is a certain level of play that Sam Darnold can get to in that offense with those kind of players, even if they're going down into the bench, that offense can still move against the Rams. So I really like San Francisco in this game.
Interesting. All right. I like that take. And Mark Henry Jr. checking in. Fat mouth alert. Yeah. I'm sure no one's going to be getting mad at me for slipping up and saying that about Pete Prisco. But look, he wanted to put his name out there, and that's fine. He wanted to flex. He's a voter. I'm not voting for Jalen Carter. Correct me if I'm wrong. This game still counts, right? Jalen Carter goes out there and gets 3 sacks today against the Giants.
Oh, yeah.
What? But Pete Prisco said his vote's already in. I don't understand that. That frustrates me. As
Wait,
a
he
guy,
already has a vote in?
That's what he said. Well, he didn't say he put it in, but he said he's not voting for Jalen Carter. He's on the timeline on CBS Sports saying,
I was going to say, if he put it in early,
he's voting for Will Anderson or Kobe Turner. I just think that's ridiculous.
Will Anderson did nothing.
And a lot of it, you have to believe, comes down to what came with Jalen Carter in the offseason and him slipping, and now Pete Prisco doing his take on it, where it's like, oh, well, obviously something's happening. Here, big picture, let me just rant about this for a second. So Will Anderson goes out there, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I said, all right, maybe I was a little strong on my take. He goes out there and has a big game against the Colts. I'm fine with it. It's a one-off. Everybody's watching games on an island. I get it. Didn't happen. He was non-existent yesterday. I think I saw him in the backfield one time. I don't think he had a QB hit. Well, the one time he did, and then ball was it was a flag on the play. So other than that, didn't really hear Will Anderson's name on the broadcast all that much. Kobe Turner, we talked about it. His numbers are nice. Kid came on in a big way. Let me ask you this, though, John Jansen. What would Jalen Carter's numbers be if he played next to Aaron Donald?
They'd be a lot better than they are now.
Thought so.
Yeah.
Doesn't that play into this? Like, if you're a voter, don't you have to be honest with your
assessment? If you're just looking at just strictly sack numbers and box score, you're not paying attention.
But that's not fair for a defensive tackle.
Yeah, right.
Either.
That's you can't do that with a defensive tackle. You can't. I think defensive linemen in general, even defensive ends, some don't get sack numbers. Sack numbers I think are volatile and they change year to year. You just got to be looking at the impact the player is making. Jalen Carter's impact is a lot bigger. Now he's not making the big plays anymore, but he's getting double team, triple team. He is the focus when you're, hey, who are we going to double up? Who are we going to make sure they don't beat us, sack us? It's Jalen Carter. It's Jalen Carter and Hassan Reddick, especially with pass rush, but it's mostly Jalen Carter. And
unless he's playing free safety.
I think Jalen Carter still, I said this week 1, and I still believe it now, even though maybe he's hit a rookie wall. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think he's been targeted more now by offenses. I still think he is the best player on the Eagles defense.
I agree. He's one of the better defensive tackles in the game.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to slight Kobe Turner. He's had a great rookie season. The numbers are awesome. He came on strong the second half of the season. But come on, like, how are you going to penalize Jalen Carter? And I brought this up, and I'm not, bringing it up to rub it because it's just a take. Mark Drumheller said, man, come 30, they're 30th in yards EPA rushing. It's like, you're going to blame Jalen Carter for that? He's the rookie. Do we really, if you're a voter, are you looking at team stats for a rookie versus a rushing? Like, I get it. Quarterback, that's easy. A defensive tackle, you're going to go that deep on? I don't know. For me, it's Jalen Carter's award. He's now up to minus 300. If you still want to make the case for a guy that wasn't listed till 2 weeks ago, knock yourself out, waste your money, light it on fire, as they say, kids. Me, I'm comfortable, plus 750 with my ticket. He's at minus 300. Give me the trophy. Love to see the big man go out there today and get a sack or two. He did get a sack. Yes. Did get a sack last week against Kyler Murray, got that touch, so we'll give that to him. All right, let's speak a little bit more on this Rams and 49ers game from the standpoint of the Rams. And again, we're waiting on some of these props to pop up here, but Puka's the big one. What's the number? Do you know? Is it 41? Puka rookie record. I believe that's all he needs, and then they're going to get him out of there. So Carson Wentz, he's going to be throwing the football in your mind. Anything there? Anything there for you as far as targeting?
Carson, what's the pick number? What's the interception number, Brace?
I'm more talking about Demarcus Robinson. I'm more talking about Tutu, guys that might get some PT because they're going to get Cooper Kupp and of course Puka out of there.
Well, that's the tough part about the Rams, and this is strictly just fading the Rams in general because they're not very deep to begin with too. So they're definitely not playing for anything in this game. They already are putting in Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz hasn't played in a while. So I just don't know how this is going to go. Now, we have seen Sean McVay in similar circumstances put somebody in like a Baker Mayfield who did not really know the offense. He came in a few days before and he ends up winning a game. So he can simplify things and make things easier for a quarterback. But also in that game, Baker just played well. I don't know if Carson's going to play well. The last time we saw Carson, it was bad. He probably shouldn't be an NFL quarterback anymore just because his body isn't holding up physically. He's a bad processor. He never has been able to process things well, and it's getting worse later on in his career. So I'm not sure if you can go anywhere with the Rams other than they are going to feed Puka Nacua the ball early and as much as they can so they can break that record.
Correct.
And by the way, just to go back to Jalen Carter, Jalen Carter's pass rush win rate. So it's not sacks. This is a decent number. Again, I think you got to use all numbers for context with defensive linemen.
Now we're getting deep.
He has the highest pass rush win rate. That's so hard to say, but it's the highest among first-year interior defenders. He is winning in pass rush more than any other interior defensive lineman. So, just because Kobe Turner has been cleaning up on Aaron Donald's pressures or somebody else's pressures, that you're going to give it to Kobe Turner. Jalen Carter, his PFF grade is higher. He's one of the highest graded rookies, not just defensively, but just the entire rookie class. He's one of the highest graded rookies all season. I think it's trying to galaxy brain it with Kobe Turner. I really just think it's like, oh, well, this guy's doing well. Nobody's talking about it. But come on, man. Come on. All the numbers are there for you. Jalen Carter has been winning. He's clearly a more impactful player and has been all season long over Kobe Turner. If they vote for Kobe Turner, I actually think it's dumb. I think voters are now, you have to check yourself. Like, look in the mirror and realize, am I actually voting for the best player or am I just voting to be smart? That's all it is. That's all it is.
Is it really all that smart if they're just looking at box scores or the back of the baseball card?
They think it's just because, there's a guy that wasn't a first-round pick and nobody's talking about. I'm discovering this gem of a player that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, I had to Google him. I had to Google where the hell he came from. I had no idea.
It's so obvious it's Jalen Carter. It's so obvious.
I think there's a lot of hate there because it's the Eagles, number one. Number two, it's the carryover from the fact of what took place in the draft. He fell. People want to, flex. There is no doubt in my mind Jalen Carter has hit a little bit of a rookie wall, a little bit, right? I just think that's fair to say. But
that's fine. Every single rookie does, though.
Absolutely, and that's the difference.
It's not like Kobe Turner was lighting it up when the start. You know what I mean?
Correct.
He had down weeks.
Yeah. Well, he's done really well, so I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But to me, in the totality, from start to finish, from the expectations that's got to come into play. To the draft, that's got to come into play. Everything. If I'm a voter, it's Jalen Carter, slam dunk, stop it. And it was last week too, and it was the week before, and the week before that too as well. All right, let's go ahead and do this. We got Roy Burton. He's coming up at noon. I do want to hit on this because the notable line movement, and one of those was the game that we just discussed there. Open up, the 49ers were 3-point favorites. They're now up to 4. On DraftKings Sportsbook, 4-point favorites in there. That doesn't scare you off at all. You're still going with the 49ers there?
I'm still going with the 49ers.
And Jansen's doing really well this year in the NFL. You got a record?
I know, this is tough.
You got a record for us, NFL?
Let me see if I can bring it up.
You do it on the Action Network?
Yeah, I like to because it's nice and neat to see my record out there. So in at least the last 30, I'm 11-4-1 in the last 30 days.
Very nice. I just like to.
I did. Yesterday wasn't good though.
No, yesterday was tough.
Yesterday was rough.
Over on the AFC side, let's see here, the Chargers, they opened up catching a point. They're now 3.5, taking on Kansas City in that one. Now down to 3. Excuse me, DraftKings Sportsbook. That one's going off at 4:30 on that one. We'll come back to all these games. Cincinnati, they opened up 3-point favorites. They're up to 7. They're 7-point favorites. Eagles were 6.5, now down to 4.5, and it got to 5. We're instead at 5 here. And Tampa Bay and Carolina in the game that we'll spend about a minute on here.
Why is that?
Because you don't believe that Carolina has a shot at doing anything in this game. I do. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I bet against Carolina one time and took the Texans, and they beat them outright. So I've seen it personally with my own eyes. It's a disaster of a franchise, disaster of an offense.
I mean, we have seen some signs of life.
The Bucs have been playing great either down the stretch. They're 4-point
I know,
favorites.
but this has nothing to do with the Bucs, though. You know, I mean, Jacksonville, as I just said, is dealing with all those injuries last week. CJ Beathard was starting. They don't have 2 starting wide receivers. They have a bad offensive line. They're the worst rushing team in all of football. And Jacksonville, and their defense is playing bad. Jacksonville blanked them 26-0. Travis Etienne had 100 yards rushing. They're the worst rushing team in football. And they had over 100 yards rushing with one player. They can't do anything. And the problem is their offense is even worse. Adam Thielen's still their top target getter. He's bad. Chuba Hubbard's a bad football player. And Bryce Young, you know, whatever it is, it's just the offense. It's the players around him. He's throwing picks. And I think this season is getting to him in a very bad way. There were already signs of, you know, some mistakes that he was making, and certainly the season affecting him. I think we're seeing it even worse towards the end of the season. I just don't know what they have. I don't think they have anything left for this season.
Are you tweeting movie takes in between the show here?
I am.
What is going on?
Bryce, I gotta keep the brand going. I can't just not tweet. I gotta do everything.
Can you do it during commercial break?
But I'm engaged.
Oh, come on.
I'm engaged.
You're tweeting movie takes in between our conversation.
I had to get it out there. Charlie Hunnam was great in Rebel Moon. It was a terrible movie, but Charlie Hunnam was great, and I want to see him in more films. I think he is. I think he's a terrific actor, and he's just not gotten really anything.
Kidding me right now?
Since Sons of Anarchy was awesome, and then he got Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim was a good movie. He was great in it, and really hasn't gotten anything good since.
You're like Matt Cord. Matt Cord was literally tweeting out while he's on.
Was it movie takes?
No, he's doing the PA announcing for the Sixers.
Yep.
During the game on Friday against the Knicks. And literally,
that game was boring though.
Just tweets out back. What was the first half? Something about Maxey being positive. I'm like, that Cord on my timeline. Aren't you a PA announcer? That's pretty funny. PA announcing's easy though. You're over here debating.
Whoa! Matt Cord's job is look. My job's easy. I just blurt out stupid takes.
Matt Cord can do that job.
I know.
Blindfolded in his sleep, like he's been doing it forever. Right, it's not difficult, so I get it. You over here though, give us some winning plays there.
Tell me I'm not good enough yet?
Rebel Moon.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. Don't watch it. I don't know. I had a buddy of mine that liked it.
You know what I watched last night?
What'd you watch?
Didn't finish it. The Holdovers.
You didn't finish it?
No, I fell asleep.
It was great though when you were watching it, right? You liked
it. What's Pig Vomit's name?
Pig Vomit?
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah, he's from Private Parts.
He's terrific.
Pig Vomit.
He might win Best Actor. Golden Globes tonight. So if you need some Golden Globes plays, let me know.
Do you think he's got a fake eye in that movie?
I think so.
Okay.
Has to.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, he's he really good. A good movie. Good flick. Check it out. Fell asleep.
One of the best from the year.
Yeah,
in 2023.
What you said. Really good. All right, John Jansen. Follow him for his sports takes and movie takes.
Countdown to the Oscars. Oh, are we going to do that? Does Mall Chevy want to sponsor that?
Feel free to take the baton, movie guy.
Dante.
Other side. Roy Burton's going to join us. We'll talk all things daily fantasy. And, folks, it's the final week.
Does Roy have any movie takes? I'm sorry. I'm hijacking the show.
Yeah,
this is bad.
We're just trying to get some winners here, Jansen. Can't win money
it's
on
the
the movie.
last week of the season. I'm blurting out Charlie Hunnam takes on the
I think a lot of people have had enough of Hollywood elites on lists this week, if you know what I mean. Let's keep it moving here.
Jeez, man. You're going scorched earth today.
Check out go to my Twitter page. You got your tweets up?
Are you tweeting too during the show?
No, go to my Twitter page.
Are you in the mud?
Look at the new hashtag. I removed.
Oh, no. What's your new?
I removed
more mud 24. It's a good year for that slogan, by the way. Very good year for that one.
I'm here for it this year. I removed spread love. I'm not spreading love this year. I'm spreading mud.
You guys have officially broken brace.
Yes, that's it.
You're officially old guy that yells at clouds.
Damn right.
Yes.
And I'm going to embrace that stance all year long. More mud, 2-4.
You're doing a good job.
More daily fantasy winners with Roy Burton on the other side. It's Countdown to Payout presented by Mall Chevy. Back after this.
How about a look behind the curtain at Philadelphia 76ers basketball with the 76ers Insiders podcast?
I'm Sixers team reporter Lauren Rosen.
And I'm Matt Murphy, Sixers reporter and voice of the Delaware Bluecoats.
We're in the building for each game, at home and on the road, and ready to react to every Sixers win and beyond with you here on the 76ers Insiders podcast.
Regularly hear from the players themselves when you listen to 76ers Insiders on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This and every Monday after a Birds game, come out to Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey for the All-Pro Green Legion Player Show, featuring a different Birds player each week from 6 to 8 p.m. Meet the players, get autographs, and enjoy the crab fries this Monday at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Feeling trapped with that old phone? Don't. Getting a new phone is easy. Come into Verizon and get one of our best phones on us with Select Trade-In on Unlimited Ultimate Plan and get a plan that helps you save by only paying for what you need. Act now and get a brand new phone at your Verizon store today. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate Plan required. Less up to $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions apply.
A toast to our new college grad who fills us with so much joy, almost as much as when we're in our RV. Oh, the world is your oyster, kiddo, and ours too. Now that we're covered with Progressive, Dad and I can hop in our RV anytime we want. Might even splurge on a retractable awning. Ooh, look out. Sorry, what was I talking about?
Protect your loved one with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
We all make resolutions this time of year. And let's face it, most of them won't stick. But here's one that's not only easy to keep, but will help you feel healthier all year long. Navage. Navage provides quick, drug-free nasal relief by washing saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril. This time of year, when everyone is sick, Navage helps by sucking out germs, bacteria, and viruses trapped in our noses that cause us to feel miserable. And come allergy season, it does the same with dust, pollen, and other allergens. And unlike medications that can take time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage helps treat congestion symptoms in seconds flat, without drugs. This New Year's, resolve to use drug-free Navage to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Tests are a necessary part of life. They evaluate our ability to handle the things life throws at us. Our floors go through tests too. Pets, kids, spills, scratches, you name it, our floors deal with it. That's where LifeProof flooring comes in. Available in a wide variety of colors and styles for all areas of your home. Whether it's premium pet-proof carpet, waterproof and scratch-resistant vinyl plank, or even outdoor turf, all LifeProof flooring is designed to endure life's toughest tests. Available at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Alternative Rewind, where all rock began. Just search Alternative Rewind and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
Marcus, what happened?
I was changing my oil and I spilled some on the floor.
Oh, well, use these $50 bills to wipe it up.
Perfect. Got any more?
Yeah, take a couple hundred.
Stop. Instead of using money, use an old rag. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
This is Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports.
The final Sunday of the NFL regular season is set to begin with key battles for playoff position, including the NFC East, where the Cowboys need to only win to clinch the division. Even after their strong start to the season, the Eagles need help to clinch that NFC East and come away with a win over the Giants in their finale. And Villanova's strong start to their Big East season finally comes to an end as the Wildcat men struggle to shut down St. John's. I'm JD Haffren.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Join us for the Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service 13th Annual Jobs and Opportunity Fair, Tuesday, January 16th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Temple University. Sponsored by Urban League of Philadelphia, Greater Enon Missionary Baptist Church, and Temple University Lens Fest North Philadelphia Workforce Initiative. Job opportunities will be available in industries including healthcare, retail, technology, and more. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, visit volunteer.globalcitizen365.org/jobs fair.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia. The clock is ticking. The time is now to find those last-second winners. This is Countdown to Payout, powered by Mall Chevy.
All right, movie boy. What movie is this from?
Probably from a lot of movies.
Well, come on, it got its big break in what movie?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, movie boy.
Stop calling me that.
You don't know this one?
Feels so degraded. Movie boy.
What was it, Bollywood or whatever the hell it was?
Bollywood?
It was the one with the trains in India from a couple years ago. I think it won like Best Picture. See, you're honest.
This wasn't in Triple R.
See, I look, Roy joining us right now on the Gambler Hotline, Roy Burton. Roy, do you know the answer to that trivia question?
I didn't hear the beginning part. What was that again?
All right, so you know the song I just played, Paper Planes, right? You know this song? By MIA?
Yes.
All right. What movie did it get its big, I guess, reveal from?
Jeez. I don't know. I'm sure Jansen knows.
No, he doesn't.
No, that's the thing I don't know.
That's the issue.
Really?
Slumdog Millionaire.
That's a good one.
Okay.
I watched that movie.
That's a good one. I think it was movie of the year.
I don't think.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I think it won movie of the year. What are you talking about?
Also,
good
it came out in
movie.
2008.
All right. Well, if you're a movie boy, you should know that answer.
It's a solid movie. I don't think it won best. I think it might have been nominated for Best Picture.
Oh man, I can't believe you didn't know that.
See, did it win Best Picture?
I think it did.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I liked it. I didn't think it was that good.
All right, whatever. Enough of the movie talk with you. And stop tweeting too. All right, let's talk some football and find the people some winners, because that's what they're here for. This is Countdown to Payout, presented by Mall Chevy. Check them out online at mallchevy.com. Hit up our good friends. He's the general sales manager over there at Mall Chevy, Dante Venicola and company. All right, Roy. Week 18 from the DFS standpoint. Look, we got 2 games in the bank. We have, 6 and 7, 13 total today. What is your outlook? What's your approach for all things DFS today, NFL Week 18?
So this obviously is a tough week because you got to figure out games that matter versus games that don't, and not necessarily, shying away from the games that don't matter, but there's a lot of variables going on. You guys talked about it before. Some guys are going to play to get their incentives and then they'll dip out, and some teams are playing because they just have pride to play for, and some teams are playing for playoff spots. So you kind of have to weigh all that stuff out. Some games are stay away games, but there's a few games I think on this main card that you should be able to attack because teams either have pride to play for or they're playing for playoff positionings or seeding today.
All right, where do you want to start? What's the number one game as far as DFS in your eyes? Where are we going?
So if the game I feel most confident in as far as DFS wise, as far as like positive production, I'll go with the Dallas game, the Dallas Washington game, because Dallas clearly has something to play for. The game's a 425, so they won't know anything as far as playoff positioning because the Eagles game is at the same time. So they should come out the gate strong. I like Dallas, and I'd probably stack Prescott with one of those receivers. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb if you can, but I think the Washington Dallas is in a really good spot today. I like that game from a Dallas perspective. For sure. So definitely, if you're thinking about stacking a quarterback wide receiver tandem, definitely go with Prescott with one of those guys, because I think that's the safest play on today's board, given everything that we're seeing.
You don't think that there's a chance that they sit Dak or take it easy because it is the Commanders? You just think because, look, there's so much at stake that 2 seed win the division, win this game.
Yeah.
And that's the focus.
And Dallas matches up really well against Washington.
Well, I think
because Washington.
I think everybody.
No, I know that,
well,
but like any high-powered passing offense and efficient passing offense is going to have a field day on Washington.
All right. So there's going to be no taking the foot off the gas, no running the football. You think this is business as usual with the Dallas Cowboys, Roy?
Yeah, I think it's business as usual, especially, again, since the team that's fighting them for that division title, the Eagles, is facing a Giants team, which they air quote should beat. So, I don't think Dallas can afford to not play all 4 quarters today. So that's why I think Prescott and Lamb and that offense is going to have a pretty good day against Washington.
Looking like 19-mile-per-hour winds. Anytime you get around that 20-mile-per-hour mark, that definitely catches my attention. Does look clean, though. No precipitation, nothing along those lines in D.C. Just a little windy down there, something to keep our eyes on. From the standpoint of the game, you're looking at 13-point spread for Dallas, 46.5 is your total. Again, these two teams played on Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken, and of course, Dallas laid the lumber on the Commanders. All right, you went with the stack. Anything from running the football for Dallas? Anything as rushing props are concerned? Because everything is listed essentially here. Tony Pollard, no, nothing from the Commanders side. 61.5 for Pollard here, 11.5 for Dak.
I mean, the Dak number's fine. I mean, I don't love the Tony Pollard number. I think it's okay. Nothing jumps out to me at that. To me, this is more of a, Dallas put up as many points as you can through the air against this terrible pass defense. And, at the end of the game, you should have, you should be in the 30s, and that should be enough to give you the division. So
who scores a touchdown for Dallas? Who gets in the end zone?
I think CeeDee. I think CeeDee anytime. I think CeeDee anytime is a pretty safe bet. I see the numbers 165. I don't love 165, but it's fine. I'd probably still bet it. So I think CeeDee is good. I don't know what Brandon Cooks' number is as far as yards and things like that, but I actually like his number. His yards, actually, I'm looking right now, 37.5. I would actually hit that over-under prop on that. So CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown and Brandon Cooks 37.5 yards. I like those two.
Excellent. All right, so that's in the 4 o'clock window as far as that game is concerned. Anything else out? Well, you know what? Right. Screw the time. Let's talk about the games that you like. Yeah, forget the time because we can't. Right. Hey, look, beggars.
Not a lot of games. Yeah, not a lot of games.
Beggars can't be choosers here. Let's focus on the games that you have for all things DFS. Where are we going next on the card?
Let's go to that Niners game, that Niners-Rams game. So this is a weird game because obviously the Niners have nothing to play for, and the Rams, we have the Carson Wentz Bowl with the Rams. So it's going to be interesting to see what they try out. Obviously, the Niners are going to rest their guys. The Rams are going to rest most of their guys, except for, I guess, Puka's going to get his 30, 40 yards, whatever he needs, and he'll sit. So I think this is going to be a really good game for a lot of these backups on both of these teams. Love DeMarcus Robinson today. Love him. Absolutely love him from a DFS standpoint. He's 4,500 on DFS. I don't know what his props are, but 4,500 he's going to get a ton of work today. So love him today. I think Ronnie Rivers is probably the play in the backfield for the Rams. He's the only non-Kyron Williams running back to get touches these last couple of weeks. He's $4,000 on DFS, so I like him. I keep going back and forth with that Niners backfield because Elijah Mitchell is the backup running back. But there's a lot of buzz around Jordan Mason today thinking he's going to get some work. I'm looking at the ownership projections on DraftKings. Jordan Mason's in 27.5% of DraftKings lineups at $4,600. Elijah Mitchell is in 1% of DraftKings lineups. So most people think Jordan Mason's going to get the work today. So that's probably right. And at $4,600, I think no matter what, whether he gets 70% of the carries or 40, I think that's still good value. But Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell, that's what I'm going to kind of wrestle with for a while. But I think both of them are probably going to have decent games. I'd probably though have to side with Jordan Mason because I think for the value that's a good play.
And you're saying Rivers from the Rams as well?
Yeah, I think Ronnie Rivers is the guy who's going to get most of that work in the backfield. Because Kyron Williams out today. He's not going to play today.
Would you be okay?
Mostly Ronnie Rivers.
Would you be okay with both of those guys?
Sorry?
Would you be okay with both of those guys in your lineup?
Rivers and Mason?
Yeah.
You're saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't think this is going to be a super high scoring game with Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be some numbers. But that's the thing. I like DeMarcus Robinson so much in this game. I don't know if I'd go Rams wide receiver, Niners running back.
Makes sense.
I might go. I might flip it up a little bit. But yeah, I really like DeMarcus Robinson in this spot today.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about Sam Darnold because I am interested in what he does today. We've been talking a lot about Sam Darnold because, notable backup, big name backup. So do you think there is a possibility to be using him today, and especially just with that San Francisco offense? We always love it. Now they have a bunch of backups in, so we can get a little bit creative here, but is it thinking maybe too much to put Darnold in some lineups?
Yeah, I just can't do it. It's like I just don't know who he's going to throw to because I don't think these guys are going to play much today. I don't necessarily think Deebo Samuel, if he plays, is going to log a full game. Same with Brandon Ayuk. Jawan Jennings is out, so is it Ronnie Bell? I think is there wide receiver for. I just don't know how much work he's going to get to those guys. And Kittle, I'm not sure if he's playing either. So there's too many questions as far as who's going to play and how much they're going to play for the Niners. So I don't like Sam Darnold. I don't hate Carson Wentz, strangely enough.
Wow.
He'll play and he'll work and those guys. Not saying I'll play him, but I'm saying if I had to pick between the two today, I'd pick Carson Wentz. But not saying Carson Wentz is going to light the world on fire. But
hey, Joe Flacco's doing it. It must be something with the old men. You never know. Come off the couch and you throw for 300.
Right, I know DeMarcus Robinson is going to play. I know Tutu Atwell is going to play, and I know they're pretty decent. I mean, they're decent wide receivers. So, knowing that, there's more knowns on the Rams offense today. So, I would probably side more with Carson Wentz going into this today.
Ooh, okay.
All right, let's keep it simple here, Roy. You said Dallas, so I think we're locking with Dak here, and you said CD, which is understood in the stack, and you know what? Maybe I'm sure you'd be thumbs up with Ferguson at the tight end position as well if we're going to roll in that direction. What else are we looking at as far as a wide receiver? Who's another guy out there on your plate that you think is going to burn it up today?
I think it's going to be a pretty decent game today for Calvin Ridley in Jacksonville versus Tennessee, or with Jacksonville versus Tennessee.
Correct.
Today. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it matters whether or not Trevor Lawrence plays. Obviously, I like him more with Trevor Lawrence, but Calvin Ridley cooked Tennessee earlier this year. He had 9 for $103 and a couple of touchdowns. He's only $6,500 in DFS. This is a really good spot for him because Christian Kirk is just coming back from injury. He's a game time decision. If he plays, he's not going to get his usual amount of work. So I think Calvin Ridley is a guy you're probably going to target, especially at that number. I think $6,500 against Tennessee in a game that Jacksonville needs to win the division. I think this is a really good spot for Calvin Ridley, so I put him in a bunch of lineups.
All right, let's talk about Detroit and Minnesota here. When it comes to fantasy, Detroit is definitely one of those teams that everybody has a bite on, whether it's St. Brown or we're talking about the duel at the running back position. Goff is a decent outlet as far as quarterback is concerned all season long. Maybe the people don't want to play him here, but your thoughts on that game? We're looking at a 4-point spread with the Lions favorite. It's a 1:00 kick, 47 is their total. Are you looking at the Lions here? And on the flip side with Justin Jefferson, is he a play for you this week?
Yeah, well, Justin Jefferson, I think anytime he lines up, he's a play. So we're going to kind of put him off to the side. He's an absolute. I don't care what the salary is. He's going to be a stud. He's going to get a ton of work this week, especially with Hockenson, out for the year. No, the Lions, that Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's really my other main stack. I mean, my two main stacks this week are probably Prescott and Lamb and Goff and St. Brown. That, to me, again, you got a team, with something to play for. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a threading the needle situation for them to get the 2 seed. But you got a team with something to play for, playing in that 1 o'clock window, so they don't have to wait and kind of worry about what everybody else is doing. A team that plays really well at home this year. Jared Goff, 16 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in home games this year. He's averaging almost 23 fantasy points per game at home. He's $6,700, which is, a pretty decent number for a guy with that kind of production. Like he's cheaper than, Trevor Lawrence today. So I think that's a really good number for him. I'm on Ross St. Brown. He's just, he's a stud. He's $8,600. I think he's worth every penny of that. I think he's averaging close to 22 fantasy points per game in all games this year. So I love that Goff and I'm on Ross St. Brown stack. And look, the Vikings, they should put up some numbers today. I don't know if I don't think they'll win the game, but they'll put up some numbers again today. They'll be a little bit competitive. So I think this is a spot where Detroit's going to have to play for 4 quarters. So yeah, Goff and St. Brown, I think that's a really solid stack today.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting plays too, in terms of games today, with just a couple of good quarterbacks playing well, it's Jordan Love and Justin Fields. The thing with the Bears is we know exactly where it's going to go, where all the targets are going to funnel into DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. With the Packers, it's a little bit more open. This is a top 10 passing offense. They've been a great passing offense all season long. Matt LaFleur's done a great job, but it seems to be spread out. What do you like anything in that game? And if you had to pick some Packers pass catchers, who would they be?
So I've been partial to Jaden Reed all year. I think you and I had talked about Jaden Reed last week. Jaden Reed's a guy. He's really a big play kind of dependent kind of guy. But Jaden Reed, he scores a lot. He gets in the end zone a lot. When he touches the ball. So if I'm playing anybody, I'm playing Jordan Reed. The thing is, you guys, if you guys want to play this game, be sure to check the injury report that drops in 20 minutes or so, because basically everybody on the Packers, all the receivers are injured. So Reed's questionable, Watson's questionable, Dontavian Wicks is questionable. I think Musgrave was activated this week off IR, but he's questionable. So obviously that changes the situation. When it comes to the Packers, though, like in terms of plays, I love Aaron Jones in this game. I think this is a really good Aaron Jones spot. He's had 120 plus yards each of the last 2 games. AJ Dillon's out for today's game. He had 26.5 fantasy points for Chicago in week 1. So he's it's week 18 and he's finally coming into his own. But Aaron Jones to me is a really good play. And I think his, I don't have the number in front of me, but I think his over under in yardage for today is actually fairly reasonable. So if you want to do an individual prop bet on Aaron Jones, I think that's a pretty good number. I don't have it in front of me. I don't know if you guys do, but 67.5, excuse me. Yeah, 67.5 yard rushing yards for Aaron Jones. Yeah, I think that's a really good game. And looking at these numbers now, Jaden Reed, his over under is 46.5 this week. He's cleared out the last 2 games. So if he's healthy, if he's ready to go, I love that number. Obviously, I love it a little bit more if some of those other guys like Wicks and Watson don't play.
Anything for you for the Seattle and Arizona game? There's something to play for Seattle. That game's going to have a 4:30. Games in Arizona, 2.5 for Seattle. They're still impossible playoffs land. Geno Smith gets $2 million if they do make it as a contract incentive. Plenty to play for. We know what the Cardinals are at this point in time. Do we expect this to be a back and forth, maybe a knock them down type of drag them out game here, where we see a lot of offense here?
Yeah, I think we'll see a fair amount of offense. I really like when it comes to just plays. I really like Kenneth Walker today. Kenneth Walker has only had one 100-yard game this year, and that game came against Arizona. You can run against the Cardinals. As you can see, like the Eagles could have run more against the Cardinals if they had tried to, but the Cardinals literally have the worst rushing defense in terms of yards allowed per game. You can get, Kenneth Walker, I think is a 100-yard game guy today. I think he's going to have a pretty decent game showing against Arizona. Like you said, Seattle has something to play for. So Kenneth Walker, DFS-wise, $6,500. I like that number. Again, I don't know what his number is as far as over-unders, but yeah, Kenneth Walker for me is a pretty good play. I don't know if I'm other than obviously McBride, I don't know if I'm in love with anybody on the Arizona side, but Kenneth Walker for sure in that game.
What about Tyler Lockett? Because I just picked him up, I think, as far as a guy off the scrap heap for a little flex at 5,500.
Did you hear that, Cy? That sounds like a man who's been burned by Tyler Lockett a little bit too much.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. I had a bet with Mark Henry that kind of went null and void about who's going to be better, Tyler Lockett or Jerry Jeudy this season. And Jerry Judy's just been trash. Yeah. He got hurt. But I like Tyler Lockett. It's just that he's just been so inconsistent this year. And I I am a fan of consistency. I just like guys who are consistent, or at least I know, like, if somebody's going to give me 8 points a game every week, then give me that versus the guy who'll give me 15 one week and, like 7 the next week. So, yeah, I don't hate Tyler Lockett.
Would you go Tyler Lockett or Romeo Doubs?
If Dobbs is healthy, I'd go Dobbs.
Okay.
Well, let me think. No, you know what? No, switch that. No, give me Lockett. Give me Lockett on that. Yeah, because the Bears defense is actually pretty good. So give me Dobbs.
A little something more to play for too. A little something more to play for in that other game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Give me Lockett for sure. Yeah.
Excellent stuff. All right, Roy. Who's scoring a touchdown today?
Ooh, good question. Let's go. Well, I know we dropped the Aaron Jones thing, so I'll give you that. And I obviously CeeDee Lamb. DeAndre Swift. I'll give you that one.
Swift is getting the end zone.
About that game.
No, we were going to end on that game. I was definitely going to get your thoughts on that game. So you think DeAndre Swift?
We'll talk about that.
All right.
Yeah, I think DeAndre Swift. I'll throw another guy in there. How about Pierre Strong?
Pierre Strong. I love a good Pierre.
Pierre Strong, probably. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a good Pierre. Yeah,
Pierre.
That name is so fun to say. Sean just yelled it out.
Pierre Strong. Yes, exactly.
No Flacco today. They're going to sit their starters. I don't know how much Njoku's going to play, if at all. So it's probably going to be a whole lot of like check down city to Harrison Bryant and handoffs to Pierre Strong. I don't even know if any of the top 2 running backs are going to play. So yeah, give me Pierre Strong today.
Yeah, there's a lot of people sitting out. All right,
Pierre Strong.
Let's talk about the Birds here and look.
Yes, sir.
Again, we're pretty much on the same page. So let's just not even discuss the starters. Let's just go into the approach that backups play. Mariota gets in there in the second quarter, pulling somebody offensive lineman, defense, all of the above. Eagles are 5-point favorites. Should they be?
So yes, let me ask you guys. So do you think, obviously the Eagles are going to start their guys, who are healthy. Let's say the Cowboys are up by 3 touchdowns at halftime. You think the Eagles call off the dogs?
I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. I think Sirianni is I hope he's got an approach. I'm sure he's got an approach. He said, look, there's still plenty to play for. He's saying all the right things in my mind. I feel like that they're going to get those guys out there. And it felt like that was a sentiment inside the locker room too, where the starters wanted to play. You saw the Pro Bowl reaction. Nobody was happy. I'm sure a lot of people in that locker room want to get back out there and perform, but the coach has to be smart here. So if the Cowboys are winning by double digits at halftime, I'm pulling my starters. Doesn't mean they can't go back in.
I think,
because if they don't start, then you're not putting them in. So you got to start them, see what the games do, and then go from there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Then, you've convinced me. And by the way, I am glad that you are the champion of playing those starters first off, because a lot of people are like, pull everybody, play for the 5 seed.
Because of the turf.
I understand if you like. I understand that if you like, the path from the 5 seed. I understand the turf thing, but if you have a chance to win a division, you have to go and try to win a division. So play these guys, to start. Start with these guys. And if things happen, things happen. But you can't not try to win a division. Like that's insane to me. I'm sorry.
That 2 seed is so crazy. You're looking at 2 home games.
Yeah.
You're looking at back-to-back division titles, which nobody cares about. But still, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have tickets on the Eagles winning the division. First time since 19 years that a team went back-to-back in the NFC East. And oh, by the way, you won't have to play the 49ers until the NFC Championship game. So the 2 seed is just so much more valuable than what people are making it out to be. And I don't even think it's a question. I'm sure that's how they're thinking about it down there at the NovaCare complex, but we'll see how that one plays out. All right, we'll get you out of here on this one, Roy, because yesterday, hey, look, check out my Twitter handle. You'll see I put a hashtag #MoreMud24. That's my
and you're doing a great job.
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution right there. #MoreMud24. Forget spreading love. Nobody spread love anymore. All right, so more mud. So yesterday, or 2 days ago, ESPN was just at the forefront of everything. They are the mothership. But wow, I'm talking about eyes upon eyes. You got Pat McAfee calling out one of the heads. This guy came up, this dude Norby, if you have no idea who the hell I'm talking about.
Norby.
He's some sort of like executive producer that's been at ESPN from the beginning. This dude was in the mailroom, worked his way all the way up. Essentially, all the old people that were there came out and said, yeah, he's definitely the leaker, and still has his job. McAfee calls him out. All of that to the side. You know what was the craziest thing to me was RG3 giving play-by-play on the ESPN drama as it's going down. So, Roy, I got 2 ESPN questions for you. I know you like to get in the mud with this as well. Out of line for RG3, or is ESPN so big it doesn't matter?
RG3 definitely got a call the other day. Like there's certain things that you can do certain things that you can't do.
Thank you.
RG3.
It's worth it to get that
He's not
call.
Gonna get suspended. That's the thing. It's like, you know what? I think everybody. I don't want to say, I can't speak for everybody, but if you're at an ESPN or a big place, I think you owe it to yourself to kind of push the line as much as you can, and see just as much, see what you can get away with. I think RG3 does that a lot, to be honest with you. And I think this clearly was a phone call situation. Like, he's not going to get suspended or anything, but I think RG3 was like, you know what, let me see what I can get off before, the HR Norby gives me a call. And I think that's what happened the other day.
That was great. I was cracking up. He put out 2 tweets right in a row. I'm like, all right, dude, cool.
Yeah.
They're stirring the pot, and then there's going balls deep into it. And that's what RG3 did. And I like that. All right, next ESPN. And this one comes back here to North Philly because Kevin Hart's our guy. Love Kevin Hart, man. Kevin Hart's our dude. Kevin Hart's Philly. Come on, man.
I love Kevin Hart.
We got to protect our own.
I respect it.
Kevin Hart's
I
Philly.
respect the hustle.
Yes.
All the commercials he's in.
Yes. He's in it. Right now, he's got it. Well, this is my point. Right now, he's got all those commercials. He's the face of DraftKings. He's got a Netflix special. He's got a Netflix movie out that he's playing like a serious role. This dude is in a stratosphere to his own, let alone Cat Williams, who I love Cat Williams as well. But on Friday, Kevin Hart allowed that to bother him to the point that on his ESPN stream, or ESPN, not a stream, hell, it's on ESPN2, it's watch along. This dude is ripping on Cat Williams. They're talking trash about Cat Williams for a full quarter. They're going back, like bringing his name up, trying to dog him. I didn't think they did all that well, but whatever. Put that to the side.
Yeah.
They're trashing him on national TV, which I thought was funny. But at the end of the day, it affected him. I didn't think he was all there. I thought his mood was really low. And I'm like, man, that's not Kevin Hart. It's not what I'm tuning in to watch for. I don't know. My question to you is, though, if you're Kevin Hart, if you're the Paper Cup Boys, or is that their name? No, the Plastic Cup Boys. Plastic Cup Boys. There you go. Yeah, sorry. Also Philly zone. Would you even bring up Cat Williams' name on that watch along, or do you go ahead and trash him like Kevin Hart did?
I think I'm not sure. Didn't somebody ask him about it? I'm not sure who. I don't know how it started, the genesis of it.
I'm sure. I'm sure they, wink, wink. Like, I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, I think you have to discuss it. I think you have to bring it up. I think if somebody brings it up, I think you have to discuss it. But I don't spend a quarter on it. That was a little bit extra to me. Like, that was a little wild. Like, it's like, all right. Like, I mean, I know you're the alternate, broadcast for this, and you don't necessarily have to talk about the game for the whole time, but to spend a whole quarter talking about this Cat Williams thing was a little long, was a little extra to me. So yeah, I think you need to discuss it, because Kevin Hart, like, if any comedian's given that much of a platform and doesn't bring it up, then it's like, all right, you're obviously ducking it. So you can't duck the smoke, but at the same time, like, you can't let it linger either, because it gets a little messy once you kind of spend more than like 5 or 10 minutes talking about it.
Agreed. Yeah, I didn't think they came off shining all that bright, and it was just like, I don't know. It felt forced, and it's like, oh, come on, man. That's why my point is, you're not going to win. No matter what, you're not going to win. Yeah,
right. But you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it either. That's the thing. You can't ignore it
because his pride, his ego. I think you can ignore it.
No, but it's like the biggest story. Like, it's the thing everybody's
on the social media timeline. Yeah, it's on Twitter, sure, not in real life, right? Like, if I'm tuning,
Twitter is like,
wait, hang on. Just my point is, if I'm tuning into ESPN2 and I have no idea, if I'm not following Twitter, if I'm not on Twitter because it's such a cesspool, I have no idea why you're talking about Cat Williams. None.
But so you rather Kevin Hart, the comedian, like talking, like break down the game, like
well, this wasn't
the biggest story.
This wasn't his first one. So what did they do in that first one? Like we did. Look, I don't think, if you want to jab it, like, man, I'm not wasting my time. That dude is not worth my time. I would say that on national TV and then keep it moving.
Okay.
Kevin Hart is just so much far and away above Cat Williams. And I was blown away by that. And if I was in his corner, if I was his manager, I'd be like, dude, what is the matter with you? Like I would.
No, I think, yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I think we agree. I think, I would probably talk more about it than you would. I wouldn't completely dismiss it, but I'd talk about it for a couple of minutes. But you can't. All I'm saying is you can't not discuss it. I mean, it's like the biggest thing that's happened. Like I'm not tuning into that broadcast to listen to Kevin Hart, talk about the corner three or the pick and roll or things like that. Like I'm there for alternate types of conversation. And when the Cat Williams story blew up, Kevin Hart owes it to his audience to discuss it a little bit.
That's fair.
I wouldn't blow it off, but I wouldn't spend an entire quarter on it, like I said, because that's just excessive at that point.
I think you guys are spending too much time on it now.
That's fine. Yeah, somebody's. You
guys are spending too much time on asking if Kevin Hart was spending too much time on.
That's a good call by you. All right. Somebody's checking in on our YouTube page here.
Man.
Handle. I have no idea who it is, so throw your initials up. But yeah, they said Kevin Hart was hanging out with Ben Simmons during his holdout from the Sixers and should get his Philly card revoked forever. To me, look, Ben Simmons is what Ben Simmons is. He's a celebrity. That's what he wants. Final question for you, Roy. Take us out here. Your favorite comedian all time. If you were going to recommend someone who is, and it's Sean Bernard checking out. Appreciate Sean.
Jeez. All time. I'd probably go Eddie Murphy.
You going Eddie? Okay.
Stand up. Yeah, I'll probably go stand up. Between stand ups and the movies, I think he's probably SNL. Like he's probably gonna be like maybe the best comedian for me of all time.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. But one comedy spell like that, Pimp's Chronicle, with Cat was just had me literally in tears. Of course, you get the Raw with Eddie, all the Chappelles. Although that last Chappelle was kind of lazy in my opinion. I don't think he really. I think he's got to hit a number for Netflix, so he's like, all right, here you go. There's one more.
Agreed. Yeah, just got to crank them out. Yeah,
yeah. The Netflix Chappelle run has been just like fine,
not good.
Not anything great.
Yeah, he throws his one-liners in there, and it's still Chappelle. He's the great, but bottom line is, I think he's just meeting that number. Roy, you're the best. Hey, look, thank you very much all season long, giving us the best insight, information, all things DFS. We kicked this thing off together this year at Harrah's, man. It's been a hell of a run, but we're not done yet because, of course, there's still plenty of fantasy action coming our way. And, of course, fantasy leads us right into the prop sides, and Roy is great as that when it comes to as well as that when it comes to the world of sports gambling. So Roy Burton at the BS line, GameTimeDecision.net. Fantastic job. I'll give you a roaring round of applause. Thank you, John. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Stop tweeting about movies and give Roy some love. Roy, you the man. Enjoy the games. Good luck on your place, sir.
Thank you, gents. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Really?
There
Go Birds.
is. Yeah.
Sure.
Go.
How come you don't ask me about my favorite comedian?
Who's your favorite comedian?
I don't know. Probably Bo Burnham. I'm a big Bo Burnham guy. Oh, don't you dare. The other one, I haven't seen his latest special, but Gerard Carmichael is awesome.
Very
He's
good.
So good.
Very good. There's plenty of great. Bernie Mac, that was stirring it up. Like Bernie Mac's hit from Def Jam back in early 90s. Like that was hysterical. You got Raw. Martin Lawrence was incredible. You're going to laugh at this. There was one special by Dane Cook that had me in stitches.
Oh my God. Well, come on. If you were my age when Dane Cook came out, you were listening to and watching Dane Cook all the time.
There was one special.
Dane Cook took over.
He did. He had his moment. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember him stealing any jokes. Never heard that before.
I don't think so.
That's some of the things that open your eyes now. It's like, wait a minute, these guys are stealing jokes like that and getting
Is
away
Dane
with it?
Cook going to make like a Creed comeback? Where people go, maybe Dane Cook wasn't that bad.
No, he's happy with his 19-year-old wife.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, really?
She's not exactly that. What's she, 25-year-old? Remember everyone was all upset?
Isn't he like 50? He's got to be close to 50.
And you know what? You got one life to live. Maybe they're in love. Leave them alone.
It's a little weird. It's a little.
Is it weird to him? Is it weird to her? That's all that matters. Leave them alone.
Trevor Lawrence is active, by the way.
She's 25. If she's 25, 24, what's the cutoff?
Trevor Lawrence is
playing. Dane Cook. He's
Christian
happy.
Kirk is not playing, actually.
Yeah.
He isn't active.
People want to get too much in people's lives. Like, let them live. They're happy. They're not shooting up a 7-Eleven frozen food section, right?
So I'm with Roy. I would probably play Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
Love Calvin Ridley in this game.
Good. All right, we'll keep it moving here.
Trevor Lawrence, great track record against Tennessee. Calvin Ridley's going to benefit off of it. Jags win, get into the playoffs. Everything's good in the world.
I'm buying what Calvin Ridley is selling right now. All right. So I need Trevor Lawrence to perform. He's definitely in my starting lineup. Hit us up with any of your thoughts from that conversation. Your favorite comedian.
What part of the conversation?
Was Kevin Hart out of line? Where you at with Cat Williams?
Man, we got a lot done there.
Did Dane Cook make you laugh? Is there a comedian that we need to be paying attention to?
If you're lying, if somebody's lying if they say no, that Dane Cook hasn't made them laugh.
You know, one thing that
Dane Cook did have funny jokes.
Yes, he did. You know, one thing that annoys me with comedians.
Oh, what's that?
You know, they all post it on their socials, the crowd work. Now,
that's a new trend that's terrible. Terrible.
Like,
it happened to Matt Rife, where Matt Rife was doing all these things, and that's all his clips were. Weren't of his stand-up stuff. It was all of crowd reaction. He puts out a stand-up special, and he stunk.
Yeah.
He was awful, and everybody's like, what the heck? This guy stinks.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. It's a new trend that's very much hiding bad comedians.
I think from a 30,000 view standpoint, foot standpoint, all the way above here, as I am not a comedian, and I never would have, the stunt. Well, I would get out there, but
crowd work is okay, but they do it too much.
Correct. Like, if you're a comedian, more jokes. Concentrate on the jokes, putting the jokes out. Like, enough of the crowd. What do you do? Where are you from? It's like, all right, enough already. Give me some funny one-liners, that sort of deal. Okay, we'll keep it moving here. We're going to give you some winners. That's what we're going to do. Countdown to payouts, what we've been doing all morning long. Once again, get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. Don't go anywhere. We're close up shop. We'll go down the home stretch here. Got a bunch of games we have yet to hit on. We do have some news as far as who's playing.
And I have Golden Globes predictions.
And props that have just been added on DraftKings Sportsbook.
They've been added?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Countdown to payout presented by Mall Chevy. Back of this.
If you're dealing with the same old bills in the new year, listen up. The Gambler and Gary Barbera on the Boulevard want to put $1,000 in your hands. Be sure to keep it locked right here to the Gambler and listen weekdays for the keyword from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's 9 times a day. Once again, you hear the keyword, go to our website at foxphlgambler.com and enter the correct response, and you could end up with a cool $1,000 in your hand. So is the Gambler and Gary Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Hey, this is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Follow that bear.
New year.
New car.
Right,
Birds Coach Nick.
Boy, I guess.
Chiefs.
This is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Go Birds. DallasStillSucks.com.
See DallasStillSucks.com for details. All offers on approved credit. Plus tax tag $452.
New year. New car.
Hey, this is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Easy, boy. Here we go.
New year. New car.
And they're off.
World famous Gary Barbera's is storming out of the gate, and you can too in America's favorite from $12,990. Yes, from $12,990.
It's our first sale of the year with Jeeps Cheap. And that's why Birds Coach Nick picks Barbera.
Boy, I guess.
Just $199 down for only $199 a month. Gary Barbera discounts Jeeps cheap.
Oh yeah, DallasStillSucks.com. New year, new car. It's our first sale of the year. Going Cherokee.
Crazy? Shop rows and rows of Borbeck in the Boulevard. Jeeps cheap. Just $199 down for only $199 a month.
Right, Birds Coach Nick?
Hey, this is Coach Sirianni. Is Barbera the best? Boy, I guess.
Go Birds! DallasStillSucks.com.
This Fox Sports Report is brought to you by Ashley Home Stores. The Philadelphia Eagles wrap up the regular season with a trip up 95 to take on the Giants. The big item here is playoff seeding. The Eagles need to win and a Dallas loss versus the Commanders in order to slip into the 2 seed in the NFC playoffs. Don't forget, if you purchase your Ashley furniture now through January 12th, your purchase will be free if the Birds win the big game and the quarterback passes for 350 yards or more. All the details at AshleyHomeStore.com.
It's January again, and that means we're all rethinking our food choices. Daily Harvest makes sticking to your goals super simple with their chef-crafted, frozen, ready-made meals delivered right to your door. From mouth-watering smoothies to savory bowls and gluten-free pastas, Daily Harvest food is built on organic fruits and vegetables. And the best part? There is never any gluten, dairy, or ultra-refined sugars. Visit dailyharvest.com and use code HARVEST for up to $65 off your first box, plus free shipping. Or find Daily Harvest in a grocery freezer aisle near you.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No. Call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
This week on the All-Pro Green Legion Show.
Yeah, I mean, really disappointed like everybody else. And what I would point to is, where is the physical Philadelphia Eagles team that we have seen these last 2 years win at the line of scrimmage? And, you know, for years kind of trying to figure out what are these Eagles, the football team, all about. And you get transfixed by the big play, Jalen Hurts and the receivers and the running backs. But you win football games at the line of scrimmage, and the Eagles are not even close at the line of scrimmage right now. And that is what is perplexing to me, along with the inability to have that killer instinct to put teams away. They haven't done it this year. Let's be honest. We've seen 16 games, and they have not played to that level in 16 games. They've played really well in wins over Tampa Bay and Los Angeles Rams. But for the most part, the Eagles have been living on the edge, and they have kind of fallen off the cliff here the last 5 weeks.
The All-Pro Green Legion Show is live every Monday night at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey.
The Daily Ticket with Sean Brace on the drive home and the line change with John Jansen at 9. This is The Gambler.
Hey, coming down the home stretch, final regular season countdown to payout.
Oh, it's so sad.
Well, we're not done, because I believe this is going to continue throughout college basketball. Yeah, so we're going to keep this bad boy going on Sundays here. Countdown to payout. We got college hoops season here, NBA, all of that. I took a bath last night again with NBA as well. I know I did. I didn't do not a good weekend for me as far as the wagering is concerned.
Hey, weekend's not over yet, Brace.
Friday,
you still have one more day to get it back on track.
Friday was not a good day for hoops. Yesterday, had the Pacers against the Celtics are really good, man. I would make the argument they're the best team in the league. I really do think but the problem is like they were really good last year and then they lost in the 7-game series. It's like you just don't know. But right here, right now, that West is loaded. You got the Clippers. The Nuggets are incredible. Of course, you got some other teams that are doing some things as far as record is concerned, but I'll pass them for those two teams that I just mentioned. And on the flip side, you just like the Celtics. They blew the doors off the Pacers. It was a tight game, fourth quarter, and it just Tatum and Jaylen Brown both went for 30-plus. Real deal squad there. So, all right.
Whoa, how about this for the Patriots?
What you got?
Mac Jones is inactive as the and is the emergency third quarterback. Nathan Rourke is active.
Who the hell is Nathan Rourke?
He played at Ohio, did really well in the CFL, I think he went to.
Oh.
And he was on the practice squad he was in training camp for the Jaguars, and he came up with that great preseason throw. Do you remember that one where he was like being brought down and threw that touchdown? That's Nathan Rourke.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
All right.
So Mac Jones done in New England. Is it over?
What's the contract? How does that play out when he was drafted? Is it up? Sure. He stinks. He's terrible.
Yeah.
He was a forced draft pick, to say the least, and then had a good run the one season, and that was it. And that's the worst thing that you could possibly get as far as in return for drafting a player where they did like that, because of course it restarts the clock, and it's just, man, what a disaster of a situation it is. But that's what happens when you draft a bad quarterback.
I'd be interested to see if there is a team that can get his confidence back up and see how much he can do. Because I don't think we saw fully the potential in New England. But I'm with you. I wasn't a big Mac Jones guy when he was coming out of Alabama, and everybody was telling me he was so great after his rookie season, and he didn't really play all that well. He was kind of hidden. Wasn't really asked to do much in that Patriots offense. But as we saw, it got worse, and I think a lot of that just comes into he's not throwing to anyone that's worthy of being on an NFL field. So I think for him, I would like to see if there is a spot where he could get his confidence back, the right coach to work with him, and how much they could get out of it.
Yeah, the double tight end set should have died when they had Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
I know they tried to get him pass catchers, and they brought in
Hunter
like
Henry
Johnny
and
Smith and Hunter
Jonnu
Henry.
Smith. Yeah, it was like, well, Bill Belichick
I don't know, man.
knows what he's doing. It's like, all right, yeah, good. Just to let you know, as far as we'll hit on all the games we have yet to hit on, but again, playoff seeding, all of that, and a lot of inactives out there. It's just taking a win out of the Steelers on a lot of these plays. But for the teams that have actually something to play for, again, we really didn't get into anything on the AFC side, but I do want to hit on the NFC South. Bucks, of course, went in their end. They win the division. If they do not, the Saints, they have an opportunity. If the Saints win, they would need the Panthers to beat the Bucks to win the division. So they'll be able to get in. If that is the case, Atlanta's still alive. The Falcons have a simple tree of possibilities, according to the New York Times, but no path is ideal. If the Falcons win, they will take the division if the Panthers manage to beat the Bucks. So a lot coming down to that game. And over on the AFC side,
What is one you think does happen? Like who is a team that is going into the playoffs, like just has that winning in that you think loses? Because it happens every year.
Oh yeah,
is this one of the? Are the Bucks one of them? It seems like for you, I think another candidate for that one, just because the Jags haven't been playing well as of late, would be the Jaguars, as well against Tennessee.
Yeah,
but I don't know where that specific one's coming in this year. Maybe the Cardinals beat the Seahawks. I can see that's a viable option to me.
But that doesn't put Seattle in, correct?
But Seattle would be out. Yeah, is Seattle winning?
Oh, Cardinals beat the
Seattle. Yeah, Cardinals.
No,
beat
yeah. Seattle needs. If they win, they will make the playoffs if the Bears beat the Packers.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Does that happen? That's another one. Can that happen?
Yes, I do. I absolutely think the Bears could beat the Packers. The problem is that everybody is on the Bears.
It feels that way.
Everybody is on the Bears. That's the issue right now. But I'm willing to ride with Justin Fields in this final game. I don't think he's back. I think they move on from him. I think they draft Caleb Williams, get a fresh start. If you're the general manager for that team, that's how you get the fresh new clock. And you got a number one quarterback like Caleb Williams to bring him to town, be the star of the show, all things NFL draft. You're going to be the focal point. You already got a plethora of great picks in hand. So it's not like, oh, well, we draft Caleb Williams, we got nothing else to work with. No, you got other draft picks to work with. And, oh, by the way, you trade Justin Fields, you get what you can in return there. To me, I think they move on from Caleb Williams. I know the contract has a lot to do with it. I'm not going to get too deep into the details because I believe it's only 2 seasons left. They could still franchise tag Justin Fields. Of course, we know what the numbers will be there. But if you give him that extension, you're on the hook for what? Another 3 to 5 years minimum? So Justin Fields is going to think he's worth all the top dollar money that quarterbacks are getting.
I do think a team, which is I think going to be valuable for a team trading to get him, is I don't think he's going to get that contract right away. I think it might take a year or two for that to happen with Justin Fields. So I think a team, is seeing Fields playing well, so the stock is up. They're going to have to trade for him, and I'm sure there's going to be a huge market for Justin Fields because of how well he's playing and how much potential is there. But also, I don't think they have to bear that burden of getting him that big contract right away. And I do think that they can wait a year or two for that to happen, and that's going to be valuable for a team. So I think you're right. There's too much value now with Fields, and Chicago's in a spot. They need everything, and you can fix. I think you can fix a lot of holes if you do end up trading Fields, and it's so tempting to get all those assets and still be able to get the top quarterback like Caleb Williams coming in.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they move on from Justin Fields.
It just makes too much sense. And I like Justin Fields. I think he is going to start somewhere next year. He should start, and he's a good quarterback. But it just for Chicago, it makes a little sense to not just reset, but you have to fix everything. And this could be one of those moves that helps you do that, while again also still keeping or maintaining a good level of quarterback play when you get Caleb Williams. Unless I think Caleb Williams stinks, I think they're absolutely going to trade Fields and draft Williams.
Yeah, Caleb Williams doesn't stink.
He does not.
I definitely believe he's got some mental stuff that he needs to work on. He's a young kid. That's really going to take some time. You got to be patient, growing pains. You have to you got to be honest with that assessment. I don't expect Caleb Williams to come in year one and all of a sudden have the success that you might have had with Justin Fields returning, but it's not about next year. It can't be for that franchise. And like I said, you're going to get a ton in return for Justin Fields. I think they move on from him and draft Caleb Williams. We'll see how it plays out. Of course, the draft. Where is the draft this upcoming year? Green Bay?
Is it in Green Bay?
Is that where it is?
Okay.
I don't know. That's
weird.
I'm asked. That was kind of a.
Oh, you're right.
Is it in Green Bay?
So this is interesting.
Tell me.
Former Raiders coach and Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels entering Gillette Stadium, the VIP game. So Josh McDaniels making a side in New England. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well,
it's
Bill Belichick's final game.
It's final game, but I also think he's there for a reason too. If they move on from Belichick, they're going to stick with the Belichick guy, and it's going to be such a bad mistake to do it. But McDaniels is going to be
supposed to be the guy. Mayo is supposed to be the guy.
McDaniels is going to be the head coach.
No way.
McDaniels is going to be the head coach. It's been Sean. We've been talking about it for years.
Wait, he was just a head coach of the Raiders.
Yeah, they don't care about that though. They don't care. Bill Belichick's going to say Josh McDaniels is your guy, and they go, "Yes, sir."
No, Mayo's the guy. He's been the guy that has been the rumored that he's going to get the shot. And why not? You can't go with McDaniels. You already know what you're getting there. He's a terrible head coach.
He's horrible. But that's what I'm
terrible.
afraid of is they're going to hire another terrible coach just because it's Belichick and his coaching tree and somebody that they've already worked with and have a relationship with. They're not going to venture out and scout out all these coaches. It's going to be somebody that they're familiar with because they don't want to move away from Belichick's shadow, and that's a big mistake.
Where is the damn NFL draft? It's not in Green Bay. It's Detroit. NFL draft is heading to Detroit this year. Green Bay is 2025. What's with these cold places? Remember when?
Why are they going there?
Remember when we all thought it was going to stay in Philadelphia?
It should though. Philly was awesome.
Nobody should ever host
Was that still? That's still the best draft. The Nashville one was pretty cool too, though.
Nashville was good.
Nashville was great.
Vegas was all right. I liked Vegas. The backdrop. We were still dealing with the pandemic, so I don't
was
think that
all
was
right.
fair. Vegas, the Super Bowl is gonna be great. Hey now,
we'll see.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there, baby. We're gonna be in the hot tub next to Stugatz and Levitard. Put me right in between the boys like this. What's up, guys?
I don't need that to happen. I'm gonna fanboy too much around them. I can't. You gotta keep me away from those guys. I'll fanboy too much. I'll embarrass myself.
Hey, Stugatz.
Yeah,
remember the time?
I'll honestly do the Chris Farley thing. Hey, do you remember that time on the show when you said that? Wasn't that awesome?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be such a loser. I already know it.
That's all right.
That's all right. I love you say that. Like everybody already knows I'm a loser.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's finish up strong. We got the Falcons and the Saints. A lot of inactives, including Alvin Kamara. Anything for you in this one? Any chance the Falcons win this game?
Well, it's Desmond Ridder that's going to start. Taylor Heineke is inactive, so
Correct.
the injury is going to keep him out. So that's a big deal because Taylor Heineke is definitely the better quarterback. With the Saints, I just don't know. They are such an odd team. They're getting bad quarterback play. Like Derek Carr's not playing well, so that's been hindering them a lot this season. But it's just the Falcons. Arthur Smith. This seems like a loss for him, and this is it for Arthur Smith. So I will go with the Saints. I don't necessarily love that play, though, just because they're so inconsistent at a very important position at quarterback.
All right. And again, we got to keep our eyes on that one because there's a chance that the Falcons are in play and they win that division. And next thing, the Eagles will be playing the Falcons instead of the Buccaneers. Most likely the Eagles are going to finish with the 5 spot at 11-5 and then have to take on that 4 seed. So which will be the NFC South winner. Keeping it moving on the next game on the card here. We're still holding steady at 29.5 for the Patriots and the Jets. We already said we like the Patriots. I like the over in that one. Forget the snow. Who cares? I think we see some points on the ground there. Browns and Bengals.
What's the total?
29.
Oh, it went up.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Maybe there's money coming in.
Had to be. Had to be. Yep. The Browns and Bengals, too many players not playing for the Browns, too many question marks for the Bengals as well. They're 7-point favorites for a reason. Anything for you in this one?
No. And also, I didn't really pay attention because Twitter is just an unusable place.
Yeah.
I just got spammed with a bunch of Ukraine bots.
All right.
It's odd.
Chiefs,
what is happening?
Chiefs and Chargers, that's at 428, 3-point spread for the Chargers, 35 is your total. Everyone's sitting for the Chiefs. Are you backing Easton Stick and the Chargers?
I'm definitely not backing Blaine Gabbert. So look, then wherever you want to go. And Stick actually has played somewhat well. He's
Has
gotten
he?
better. He's gotten better. He's gotten better. He's gotten better. He's gotten better. It started off very bad.
Yeah.
It's gotten better.
Okay.
But no, I got nothing in this game.
Broncos and Raiders game being played in Las Vegas. This is a game we haven't even touched on.
Jared Stidham,
Yeah.
step on up. No, why not the Raiders? Raiders are playing excellent. The vibes have got to be way off in Denver now that they have benched Russell Wilson. I know they came away with a 16-9 win over the Chargers, but obviously things are getting bad there. The Raiders are playing well. They even played well against Indianapolis. I liked what I've seen from Aiden O'Connell. Antonio Pierce, this is the last showing that he's going to have as interim head coach. And I know it seems like the locker room likes him, already getting votes of confidence from some of his players. I think the Raiders show up here. I think
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Eagles and Giants holding steady at 5-43. And finally, to the nightcap. I'm going Miami. I'll take the 348 total in this one. I'm going with the home team. Where are you at?
I've been so back and forth on this because initially it was Miami because I think Miami is playing better. At this moment, the last few weeks, Miami has been the better football team. And for the most part, they've been the better football team all season. It's why they've had the division lead all year. But there's also a reason why they are potentially going to lose that division and why the Bills still have a chance is because the Dolphins in these kind of games just struggle. And I don't know if this is the game that they finally expel that demon, but they are 7-1 at home, so I will give them that. They're a much better home team than on the road, but they struggle in games against really good teams, and I don't know what the fix is, why that's the problem. And Buffalo has experience in these games. Josh Allen has already played well in big games before. I mean, this is essentially a playoff game for Buffalo, and I think they're going to show up big time. Josh Allen's done it before. Josh Allen's the better quarterback to me, and the offense is playing somewhat well. Again, it hasn't been as perfect as it has been when they first made the offensive coordinator change. But to me, it's more on Miami. I just don't know what the problem is in these kind of games, but they certainly have a problem with it. And I think Buffalo is going to expose that again.
All right. Excellent stuff. One winning play before we get out of here.
San Francisco. I really like San Francisco. I think Carson Wentz is going to be awful today. Awful. He's going to have 2 or 3 picks. Easily. He's going to have 167 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks.
Wow.
On 17 of 24 throwing.
That's a tough one.
That's the stat line. That's the official Carson Wentz stat line.
Talking myself into the Raiders. I like that. That's definitely a way to play. Just to update Circa Survivor, they're down to 4 and they already split. But they're playing for a nice chunk of change. Don't get me wrong. So there's 4 guys left in the Circa Survivor. Both of them, 2 are on the Bengals, 2 are on the Raiders. And of course, if you have anybody at the end, they'll split that check as well. Man, it's extremely tough. You got to get extremely lucky to make it this far. And
there's so much luck involved.
Oh, a ton of luck. Of luck. Yeah. But could you imagine?
Can I get lucky once, please? NFL gods, gambling gods?
No. Definitely not.
Thanks.
All right. Well, hopefully we picked a winning play for you out there. Everybody enjoy the games and go Birds. We'll see what we got. We're back tomorrow. And by the way, we'll be back on Martin Luther King Jr. Day next Monday, because that will be the day after the first playoff game. So we're going to be all on it. And of course, countdown to payout next Sunday, all that. We got a lot going on for the
no
NFL
days off for
playoffs.
the gambler.
No days off. Not until March.
We're going to be putting in playoff performances.
No, I kid. After the Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of a break after the Super Bowl in that February spot. And then we'll ramp it back up for March Madness and all that good stuff. All right. For John Jansen, I'm Sean Brace. Everybody, good luck on your plays. This has been another edition of Countdown to Payout presented by Mall Chevrolet. Check them out online at mallchevy.com.
How about a look behind the curtain at Philadelphia 76ers basketball with the 76ers Insiders podcast?
I'm Sixers team reporter Lauren Rosen.
And I'm Matt Murphy, Sixers reporter and voice of the Delaware Bluecoats.
We're in the building for each game, at home and on the road, and ready to react to every Sixers win and beyond with you here on the 76ers Insiders podcast.